So I'll just turn it on. Welcome to this workshop of Catalyst Digital Month. Our topic today, I'm sorry, I'm getting some kind of, sorry. Our topic today will be remote project management and collaboration. But before we move on to that, we are Catalyst Balkans. We are a regional foundation and we deal in data and technology. Our goal is to transform ecosystems of philanthropy in the Western Balkans with research, tools, and consulting. Our goal is to help nonprofit organizations achieve their goals with our unique sort of flow that consists of providing knowledge which allows organizations to learn about the philanthropic ecosystem in their countries and in the Western Balkans, to map sort of their community, to build their network of supporters and donors, to help them raise funds, and ultimately to show transparency in their work. And to do that, we provide a number of tools, such as many of the ones we've shown already in the workshops, some of which you'll see today, such as our CRM software, our Giving Balkans application for tracking donations in the Western Balkans, our Donacija.rs crowdfunding platform, as well as Neprofitna.rs transparency database. So anyway, to move on to the workshop, I'd like to go over some of the rules first. As you can notice, your audio has been turned off. However, if you wish, you can write us in the comments, write in the chat, and we'll switch on the audio, and we will let you speak if you want to communicate in that way. We do, of course, encourage participation. There will be interactive parts where you can, you'll be able to take parts in polls and surveys. We also encourage you to write any questions in the chat. There's also the QA box, which you can use to ask us any question that way if you want. If you lose the internet connection, or if it's unstable for you, it's fine. You can leave and come back at the same link that I've emailed you. And of course, finally, as I've already mentioned, we will be sending all the materials in the follow-up email, most likely tomorrow. This will include the presentations as well as this recording and any additional materials that our trainers may want to provide. So without further ado, I think we should move on towards the topic of today's workshop, that is remote project management and collaboration. With us today are our two trainers, Martina Petric. She's our HR and operations coordinator. Hi, Martina. And also Milica Antic, the nonprofit digital transparency manager at Catalyst Balkans. Hi, Milica. So if you wish, I can let you share the screen now, Milica, so we can continue on with your part of the presentation.
Great, thank you, Luca. I would like just to present another part of the team. It's my dog Loki, so if in any moment you hear him bark, he'll stop quickly and I will mute my microphone. He just wants to say hello to every random people who are passing by. So just for you know, I will just be muted for that moment. It won't last long. I would like to ask you now to scan this QR code, or Luca will send a link to your to the chat, so you can log into AHA Slides and participate in this workshop. As you know, these workshops are really hard to get interactive, so we are kindly ask you to get involved, to write comments, to ask us in a Q&A session anything, to ask us to turn your mic on. We would like your perspective on this. We would like to see what are your comments on online working. So please do comment, share. It's really hard to get this interactive. Okay, if you are logged in with this few people is, I would ask you to share your expectation. In this your back end of this presentation, you're supposed to have space to share your expectations on this seminar. You saw in our landing page what are you applying for, but we would like to see if we are on the same page with you on what you think that you will take off with you from this seminar. So if you can just share a few comments. Okay, I see 13 people here, but no comments. Maybe something's wrong with presentation, or just maybe you need a little more time. Okay. I will just. Okay. Collaboration tools. Yeah, we will present some of them that we are using, but also we are asking you to share some of yours, so to share your expectations, to share what you learned in the COVID situation and the previous pandemic online work from home. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would really like to compare trials and errors because we had a lot of them, and we we find some aspects of online work that works for Catalyst, but it doesn't mean that they will work for every other organization. So we are happy to hear what are you working with. Ideas on how to work with other organizations to strengthen the role of civil society, management tools, and how to develop soft skills online. Cool. Cool. Okay. And this is the part what we told in our landing page, what we will work with you. We will talk what is new normal for us, how we manage to work from home and still get productive, and what was our biggest fears, and what was the reality, and what we project to will be happening in the future. And also we will share some demo how to use some of online tools that we are using and that had effect for us, such as Planner or Microsoft Teams. This is agenda, and this is what we projected that is going to be today's workflow. But we are leaving the space for everything to be really flexible, to share your thoughts, and if you have questions on something else, or you want to share your experience on some other topics, we can switch to that. It's really fine. After COVID pandemic, Catalyst went digital, and I must say it wasn't that hard for Catalyst because a lot of our work was already online. But of course, we had a lot of problems and we had a lot of challenges in that part. We already had working from home for some people, but in general, not a lot of employees really used it. But after COVID, we had some concerns if it's going to be operational, will people work, and other things. But when we successfully moved from office world to home office world, we realized that we could share our experience to other organizations and maybe help others to create some better events to help them to use digital sphere. And I must say that in that period, we had a lot of CVCRM requests. I'm in charge of that part of work in Catalyst. So in that period of time, even though we advocated for a digital transformation a long period before COVID crisis increased the need for online tools that help organizations to change their scope of work from offline spaces to online reality. So we had a request for organizations that already had CVCRM, but they haven't used it, to start using it. To a lot of workshops and a lot of support hours we spent to increase usage of CVCRM. And in the previous year and previous period, as all, we had 70 successful training events, and those are all based on nonprofit technology, marketing, and fundraising. And I would like you to ask you again to get back to our slides and just let us know how do you organize at work. Okay. I'm the person who really likes to have it all in paper, so I make a little to-do list and have it all in colors and different colors, and sometimes I make little doodles so I have a better memory of what I'm supposed to do. Okay, a lot of you are organized, but there is a messy also. Great. I would like just to present how we came up with this digital month and the idea of this webinars. It happened in the beginning or the middle of pandemic. We always talked about how we need nonprofit tech survey, how we supposed to assess the technological needs of civil society in Serbia or region. So we decided to create online survey, and it happened in the last May and in June. And we analyzed the whole region and ex-Yugoslav countries plus Albania minus Kosovo, because we didn't have enough sample from Kosovo. So we wanted to reach two goals. First, to see how big is need for non-profit digital transformation is, what digital solutions they need. And on the other hand, we wanted to advocate with donors to nonprofits to invest more in digital challenges that are happening with civil society. So we analyzed those reports. We had partners in every country who help us to disseminate the sample. So we organized the survey, and we got some interesting stats. And we can see that the most of the organizations are using less 1% of their budget for spending for any of hardware or software products. Very small amounts are spending over 10% of their budgets, yearly budgets, on any software or hardware solutions for their organization. So that was one of the most interesting findings. Also, organizations are mostly using external and internal softwares or social network management software so they can communicate. And in that context, it's really interesting to see. This is for countries again. Like we can see that it's by country still below 1%, and that there is most interesting Montenegro, where 45% of organizations are spending less than 1% on software solution, and the biggest expenditure on softwares has Albania. So that's interesting. Least used by nonprofits, and that was one of the reasons we organized digital security training, is that in the finding that internet security softwares are least used by nonprofits. So I would really like to invite you on 15th of September. We have a really great lecturers and they will present how to protect your organization, how most of the nonprofits are using a WordPress website. So in that context, it's really smart to listen to our lecturers on 15th of September to see how to protect your organizations from hacker attacks or other internet threats. So it's a good recommendation to follow that part. Also, we measured what after the COVID crisis organizations are starting to use. And there is, of course, increased need for accounting software, conference call webinars, presentation tools, and other. And this was really interesting finding because a lot of organizations said they are using pirated copies of some products for design and tech processing, even though there is a free or almost free solutions for nonprofits. And that's the problematic part, because pirated copies are really open for a lot of threats, digital security threats. So it's really problematic. Also, other softwares for accounting and design are mostly outsourcing. They're not used inside or in-house. And the most of the organizations, 2/3 of organizations are using free solutions. Of course, organizations are planning to or intend to use more in the next period is project management tools, conference calls, webinars. So this is the result. This training is one of the results of that survey. And we can see that the organizations in the region are mostly satisfied with their internet security, even though from empirical feeling, we can say that there is a lot of place for the misuse of data online with organizations. This digital security is not in adequate level in the whole region. Okay, and 5 key security areas that nonprofits do not use tech solutions for is everything is connected to protection of their data, communication, preventing hack attacks, VPN, or fraud detection. Also, in the end of the month, we will have a lecturer who is from Greek, investigative journalist and project manager, Jelena, and she will talk about how to use free or almost free solutions to protect your organization, especially in our context where our governments like to stepping around with our work. So protection is really mandatory, and we should really focus on that part. And we were really happy to find out that after in that survey that we conducted, misclick. In this survey that we conducted is that organization understand there is a better employee and volunteer of knowledge that should be worked on. So if you have organizational understanding that there is a need for knowledge and for better understand of what digital security or digital work means, that's a really positive note for this survey. And again, I will ask you to share what's your home office style. So you can, again, turn on AHA slides and share your thoughts. Yeah. Okay. We're all working with turned off camera. Yeah, okay, there is a suit. Nice. Nice. Okay, I would ask Martina to take over now. I will stop share.
Okay. Hello, everybody. And first of all, thank you, Luca, for the nice introduction and presenting Milica and myself and what Catalyst does. It is my great pleasure to be part of this course and to help you to make to give you a better overview of how Catalyst does, how Catalyst manages this remote work and everything that goes with it, both organizational part when it comes to projects and when it comes to managing people and coordinating all the challenges that this uncertain time brings. So I will now share my screen and continue with the presentation. Just a second, please. Okay, so. Is everything visible now? Yes, it is. Okay. So after this one, we will continue with the introductory part related to how we manage the remote work at Catalyst. And main points that we are going to cover are, first of all, what was the world, including business world before the pandemics, and how it all changed with the pandemics. After that, we're going to give you a quick insight of how we do it at Catalyst, and then we will make the conclusions and presume possible future trends. First of all, some interesting facts that could be seen from both local and world statistics and surveys is that remote work before pandemics was considered as a very rare perk for most employees. So it was not so common in many organizations, companies, etc. Mostly because employers were skeptical about offering these benefits because of some kind of uncertainty how it would affect productivity, teamwork, and communication. So that kind of a lack of trust was existent. But after pandemic started, soon after that, as some adjustments to these kind of prejudice became a must, remote work became the reality. At least for the organizations that didn't have remote work prior to all this situation. So some of organizations were lucky to already have embraced these digital tools. So this change didn't affect them much, but and the changes were not that big. But other organizations and companies realized that they need to adapt quickly and were unprepared, so needed to do a quick reorganization at the last minute. Based on some surveys, the remote work is one of the new trends, and according to the Upwork survey, about 1 in 4 Americans, around 26.7%, will be working remotely in 2021. And this is a significant change from 2018, when only 7% of civilian employees in the US had that opportunity. So this is a survey on the based on the employee market in US. Some of the questions and trend of this how we call it new normal, is that before we had an office space where we all came to work and sit together, organize our everyday work and communication. But now, instead of one space, we have, in our case, 30 plus home office spaces that became our new offices, where we spend both personal time and work time. So this is a challenge by itself in most cases, even if somebody lives on their own. Sometimes it's hard to keep the motivation and to organize when you're remote, for some people, of course. Other trend is that live meetings were not possible, and everybody needed to switch to the online mode. And the email communication was just not enough. And at some point it was too slow, or it demanded to research the other forms of better communication method. Another question was how to organize people within projects and measure deliverables within remote work, because a lot of things are not seen when working from home, and a lot of work that was in regular day-to-day sync, like on a hallway or the balcony, or when you can exchange quick messages and information, were not possible. So both managing the timeline of the project. So the other question was how to maintain team spirit, and to continue keeping the team spirit and team integration for new team members, because since working from home, online mode is something that is a new reality. And the most important thing is taking care of people and their needs. That became even more important in the case of pandemics, because we are all encountering our personal challenges as well, related to work and to our personal lives and our health. So according to some kind of statistics and research, the most common benefits that are encountered when it comes to remote work is better work-life balance, as we do not go from home, and we can just save time by having less time usually used on travel. So this is a benefit that is encountered by many people. More autonomy in work, because people by nature become independent, more independent in the work. It's expected, it's more expected in flexibility that is available when working from home. And what comes to the higher productivity, and that all leads to also increased motivation. On the side of employer, reduced need for the office space. So these are the benefits, but also challenges, as better work-life balance is also benefit and a challenge, because in some cases it is hard to draw the line between when we finish with our work and start with our personal lives, and because our office is also our home. Loneliness in case of being separated from the rest of the team. For most people, this is a common challenge, and something that we encounter from time to time. In some organizations, it can bring to micromanagement because of the lack of trust and uncertainty how the time and deliverables are going to be managed and overseen. So it sometimes can bring to, unfortunately, to micromanagement. Collaboration and communication are totally different because there are some kind of different options and solutions that you need to be implemented. Distractions at home. Milica mentioned Lucky as her new new colleague, a project assistant, and we also know what kind of situations happened and will happen, but we somehow got used to it. So it's like part of new normal. Lack of motivation also, because on a long term, depending on how it's managed inside of the organization, this kind of being separated from the team and from office can bring to lower motivation. And of course, technology hiccups. Wi-Fi connection goes bad or off during the important meeting or interview. In my case, also we are searching different platforms, tools, which are like at the beginning promising and then not so promising. But these are all normal things that we are like used to now.
Martina, we had one raised hand. It's Elisa.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she wants to talk anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was focused on presenting.
No problem.
So
that's
sorry,
why
Elisa.
I'm.
Thank you, Milica.
Okay. I can ask you to unmute. Okay. Elisa, I kindly ask you to. Oh, okay. It was a mistake. Sorry, Martina.
No problem. And even a Catalyst raised hand. No, I got the notification. Okay. Okay. I will then continue with the presentation, and if anybody would like to ask anything, feel free. So what did Catalyst do in regards to all these topics that we presented in the introductory part? At the very beginning of the crisis, it was clear that rules of work and life in general will not remain the same. And there is the necessity of adjusting and reorganizing in order to make our colleagues maximally protected during the work. We switched to remote mode and then adapted to new normal. We learned a lot, had much challenges, but we realized that some crucial things, both organizational and culture-wise, have already been there. Most importantly for us, trust and the mutual support and the flexibility that we give as the important benefit to all of our teammates. We are going to talk about how we manage the logistics, the setup of home offices, and basic basis, all office as a basis, people, support and HR processes, and how it affected processes and projects. Needed to use the communication and collaboration tools. First of all, after the need of working from home and the situation with COVID was developing in a bad direction, we have announced work from home as the health and well-being of our employees are #1 priority. So we all switched to remote work and only basic functions remained at the office, but we always had only one person in the office for the most important things that needed to be taken care of. While setting up in home offices, as it was new for all of us, we put as the very important priority supporting our teammates in helping them to set up that working space at home. Ask them if they needed chairs because you cannot sit on a kitchen chair all day and without getting disc hernia or something. Then monitors or any additional peripheral equipment that they probably needed. So we supported them in providing these things. Also, during the time, as some of our colleagues have positions that include a lot of communication through phone, we did a survey, and we did a check with the team leaders what are our needs for mobile phones, because we needed to provide it for our colleagues so that they do not use their personal phones for work. So we did a research and found the best solution to offer and provided mobile phones and cars. During the period of Corona, because from time to time situation changed, we needed to adjust, and the most important for us was what our colleagues' needs are. So we did and do a regular surveys asking what are the needs and how can we adjust to that, both when it comes to work from home and office. So after the situation started to somehow stabilize, then we did a survey to check how many people have a need to come back to the office. And before we started with the partial coming back to the office, we did my team for finance, administration, and HR. We did the research and prepared everything prior to sending an official information that we can come back to the office. That included adjusting the working space according to the needs, and including the security organization that gave us all the standards that are needed and necessary from the states, included the hygienic things and posters with the instructions how do we make the how many people can be in the room, what should be the distance between people, and the most important thing is that we set up the rule that only one person can be in the room by time. So we created some kind of a scheduling tool that we used and that we still use, even though many organizations and companies came back to the office. We are still being cautious, and we are still feeling the pulse of our colleagues, and in that sense it is a open question that it's adjusted to everybody's needs. This is how the scheduling tool looks like. It's actually an Excel file, and we, after the survey that we did, we entered the names of people that are interested to come to the office. So we have 4 offices at the moment, like 4 bigger or smaller rooms that we can book. And it is important that we always have the plan in advance, so we are sure that only one person is in the office. And this is how the survey looked like. So we asked a couple of questions, and based on that, we decided what would be our next step. So the first question, for example, was, are you interested in working from the office? And the answers were like, we wanted to see how many days a week or month what would be the frequency, and would the person be okay with sitting in maybe other office if it is not the office that they used to work before the pandemics. What would be the time when employees would like to come back to the office if they thought about that and have some kind of attitude towards that, and what would be the reasons for wanting to work from the office. We put some kind of a creative answers that were funny when we published the results of the survey. Okay, so we went through the part where we talk about logistic of setting up the office itself, and things that change when it comes to the people are also very important. And most of organizations that realized the need and wanted to be a good employer and to be a good employer needed to focus more on these things. First of all, flexibility. At Catalyst, that was the situation even before COVID started. So, but after it started, especially when we had lockdowns and limiting the time to finish our personal things, we adjusted the working hours individually according to the needs, and so we could finish our important things during the working hours. So it is something that we just additionally paid attention to. This is the flexibility. We continued with the practice of regular one-on-one and team conversation with our colleagues. It was something that was both organized on the side of HR, and managers were in regular communication with the teammates, offering support, encouraging them, and encouraging open communication, because this is very important for us to know how do our colleagues feel, and as we are transparent from one side to know what is happening and to understand and support if there is a need. Based on the feeling, the pulse that I already mentioned, some of our colleagues adjusted their strategy. For example, we encountered the information from the colleagues that some meetings are happening too often or too long and maybe sometimes boring. So we shortened the time of meeting length and put some meetings to be less frequent. Also, one of our colleagues implementing something very interesting, that every day sync of their team leads another person. So then they all feel included, and they are not just sitting and listening to other people. They can take another role. So this is thing that can make things more interesting. One of our teams have game breaks that make time more interesting, and then when it's pretty much crowded and busy, that they all gather together and be together for sometimes playing short online games that then refresh them and made them more prepared for the rest of the day. Sick leave policy that we are unique of is that is especially important in this period of the pandemics. We have the policy of 20 days of sick leave on a yearly basis that does not affect the salary. and the private health insurance that was very, very important during this period, as we all know how is the situation with the sometimes with the state hospitals and institutions. Transparency and sharing of latest events and projects. When we are all in the office, we often get to know about important happenings and things that are happening like informally, but when we work from home, this is mostly limited. So we gave our best to overcome this gap, and then we used some kind of a chat channel where we share all this information. So today, for example, we share the link so that everybody from our team can join and support us. And thank you very much for supporting Milica and myself. We are also taking care of work-life balance as we used to, but especially now by tracking overtime and of course compensating overtime. It is mostly important now where sometimes work from home can be exhausting. We organized a lot of online team buildings that can never replace the online, the in-person meetings and team buildings, but we gave our best to find interesting solutions that can gather around everyone and to be not just a boring thing that somebody feels like should be present at, but something that is creative and that you're like cannot wait to happen. And we motivated our colleagues to suggest the new method and new things that they would like to happen during that team buildings.
Martina, if I may add, we used House Party. This is a Android or iOS app. So every day we play half an hour game in the middle of the day. So that's how we release some stress, some steam. And once we use it on organizational level, so everyone installed the app and we played some Uno game or I don't know, other team building games. So it was really fun and useful and easy way to organize, to have this bonding moment within organization.
Thank you very much, Milica. Yeah, it was very interesting to play house party games. So we used it one time, and we will probably use it again, as it has many interesting rooms, many interesting games. The only limitation is that it has rooms, six people per room, so we cannot be together at the same time. But we used a chance to play it and then switch between rooms, so that is interesting. And you're probably thinking about whose feet are these, but I will leave this unanswered. This is a photo from one of our colleagues from the last New Year, and when we organized, because we couldn't meet together and have in-person New Year's party, we organized this Catalyst Santa. Actually, we didn't organize it. He came to our homes and brought the gifts. The package included these branded socks that made us feeling very connected to our team, and we wore it also during the New Year's party and later during the winter. So our colleagues liked them very much. And this is the photo from the New Year's party that I talked about. You can see probably some familiar faces here. So we gathered and we played interesting games. We did the Guess the Song game, and it was very dynamic and interesting. And we used it to say goodbye before the collective vacation that we had during the holidays. Okay, I'm not tracking the messaging. Maybe somebody would like to. Okay.
No, I'm tracking everything, so just
Okay.
go. I will interrupt you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. When it comes to collaborating tools, being a nonprofit, as you probably all know, most of people, if not everybody, is from nonprofit sector. That means having various projects with different timelines and deliverables that should be tracked and managed properly. So in this remote work, the usage of the online tools is a necessity. So some of the tools that we use are Microsoft Planner, that we use to make the project coordination easier, and it gives us option to create separate boards for each project, to assign duties per project, and to track deliverables and deadlines. It has great visual of what is done. You can sort it and track it in at any moment. So that lowers the need of communicating. Additionally, you can always go there and see what is the status. But I will not talk much about details, because Milica will have after the break we'll have a space where she will go and talk in details how this works in practice. We use Microsoft Calendar to enter our own meetings and to schedule meetings during the week and on a monthly level. We can also use it to see when our colleagues are available, if we would like to schedule meetings with them. When we are in the office, what room is booked. But now mostly to see availability also. If somebody is on vacation or not in the office, has a day off, we can see it through the calendar. It is also integrated with the Teams, the chat that we use, so we can then schedule meetings and create links to the meetings that we do through the Teams. SharePoint is because we use the Office 365 package. SharePoint is alternative for previously used G Drive, and we use it to stay organized, to classify documents within folders, to and within dedicated projects. We had, as I mentioned, the transition from G Drive. It's not completely done, and it has been a long ride, but we saw the real benefits of switching to SharePoint. And each project has the space on SharePoint and the planner that can be added, as well as channel on Teams that serves for the chat. Teams is our internal messenger that we use for quick communication, both individual and group. We can share documents through Teams. We can have video or no audio calls, and we can share the documents, photos, etc. As I already mentioned, it's integrated with the Microsoft package, and it's integrated with the SharePoint. So later I will tell you more about Teams and how we use it, and what is the benefit of connecting Teams to SharePoint. Zoom is a platform that we use for larger meetings, webinars, courses, like, for example, now. We used to use Whereby platform for quite some time, but we felt the need of changing and switching to another platform because we had the limitation of number of participants that can share a video. So we could only be in large groups with the audio call. So, and we needed both for the internal usage, team buildings, we wanted to see our teammates in person, or clients where we have partners where we have meetings, external meetings. And sometimes it had some kind of difficulties in connection. So we did a research, thorough research, and then decided to switch to Zoom that we still use. We will see in the future if it is okay.
Martina, I would like just to mention Gtc Meetings that we used briefly. And I know that security-wise, it's a good option because you can create ad hoc meetings just for one subject and only you can know the link. But we had a lot of problems with that. And also we used Slack, and it was a really good option. But when we transit to Microsoft Office, we decided to stay on one product and keep all our work at one place.
Thank you very much, Milica. Okay, so except for the organization of projects and day-to-day processes, also the HR went online and remote. So all the HR processes are switched to online mode. This is a big challenge because starting from the interviewing process, we are introducing ourselves as the employee. So it is very important for us to get to know people that we decide to work with in the future, and for candidates to get to know us well, to transfer some kind of a team spirit and our energy that we have inside of the team. But even though selection process is going strictly online for quite some time, the reactions of people that we met during the selection processes we had it a lot during the Corona period, even though it is not a trend at the moment, were very positive. So we mostly get the feedback that candidates never had more relaxed conversation, and what they heard about us as a team made them interested to be part of the team. So also, except from hiring, onboarding went online. So it can be a great challenge, not just from logistics and administrative part, but the mentoring and training process when a new person comes to the organization is very important, especially in situations when somebody comes from other sector. So the additional need, there is an additional need for having an introduction and how everything works in non-profit sector, because it's pretty much different than profit sector. So then we joined the additional forces to both from HR and from management side to do the proper onboarding and introduction, and to enable some kind of faster team integration by introducing our new colleagues to another teammates, at least online, if not in person. So also evaluations went online. So after 3 months probational period, we have evaluation meetings, and we it requires additional online meetings in order to brainstorm and to come to the conclusions, but we always do that on time and always do it in a proper way. Team building activities, as I already mentioned, went online, as well as the important dates during the year, such as birthdays or anniversaries, important events, whether it's anniversary or any other important date. We try to communicate it through our chat. Also, when we have a new person coming to the team, we share the information prior to their arrival, and then during our events that we organize from time to time, we present new people and then give our best to people, get to know them until we have a chance to meet again in person. We have been giving our best to cope with the new trends. But besides coping to new trends, we have our own method of work, and as I already mentioned, give our best to adjust it to our employees because their needs are most important for us. Okay, so the challenges that we have encountered along the way, even though I almost talk about the positive things and our things that we dealt with a success, but there are of course always challenges that we encounter, and they're mostly related to not just at Catalyst but in any organization when trying to implement new procedures. There is a time needed to for the team to accept it and to start using it. It is there is a couple of months or weeks in different cases needed to adjust to new procedures. Also, when using new software tools or switching from old software tools for new ones, there is some kind of resistance sometimes at some cases that requires additional support and tutoring, mentoring, because the benefits of implementing new software or new procedures are very good. So, but it requires more time to involve in order to be accepted. Wi-Fi connection challenges, of course, during almost every important meeting or interview, but not every day. So that was a challenge as well. Personal and team challenges. We all had a lot of challenges, both as a team and organization-wise, and our individual challenges and battles that we gone through during this period. So in this case, we spend more time to be involved in support and take care of also the mental health of our employees, besides of the physical health. Okay, so this is a survey that we took online, that we gathered online, and with a view of helping the employees gain vital skills. Companies quickly adapt upskilling programs, and in addition, internal personal training becomes a common practice. So the accelerated digitalization of educational programs is gaining momentum now, and is definitely one of the most remarkable work from home trends. According to the World Economic Forum, 42% of respondents are planning to streamline the digitalization of upscaling, and that find it a great way to adjust to the recent changes caused by COVID-19. Okay, so a lot of talking from my side, but now the part when you can join and answer this quiz. So please tell us, do you miss working in the office with the team? And we have some interesting answers. So please tell us, do you miss gossiping with others? Do you have you got used to brainstorming with yourself? And if you just miss the free coffee. Okay, free coffee. Gossiping is almost equals to coffee. Let us see. A lot of people talking to themselves. Okay, I can relate. Okay. Thank you for the answers. Let me just check the chat.
Yeah, it's Luca.
Okay. Okay. Oh, it's still happening. It's great.
Very tense.
Yeah, I'm great that you decided to participate in the quiz. It makes the whole course more interactive. Oh, gossip girls or guys. Okay, so we can now announce that gossiping won and that people miss working from the office. Okay, thank you.
Well, before this slide, I would like to ask you if you're ready for the break or you want maybe to continue to work and maybe finish earlier. This test we will have to do in chat, this quiz. So please just comment and we will decide based on your comments what to do next. I will take over the share.
Thank you.
Okay, still no comments. Well, if you want to continue to work, just say so in the chat part, or you want a 10 minutes break so we can continue a little bit later. Okay, it's not too much. Okay. It's going to be fun.
Maybe we could do a quiz about that.
It's a tie. We need to have someone.
Okay, but I think if at least a few people are interested, maybe we should take 10 minutes if it's, if somebody wanted to go pour themselves a glass of water or something, and then we can move on.
Okay. And Luca, can you say, is my audio now better or?
Yes, yes, it's much better now. Okay, you had some issues with the volume, but I think it's good now. So I hope it works for everyone.
Okay, thank you. 4:20, we continue and see you a little bit later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess we can start. I don't, maybe Luca should announce beginning. Okay.
Yes, of course. Hi, everybody. I hope you're back from the break and ready for some more of this workshop. I hope it's been useful to you so far to have some of our insights as to how Catalyst handled the transition to working from home, but we'll go into some more details and some more statistics now, as well as a demonstration a little later on. So stay tuned, of course. Write any comments or any questions in the chat. If you have any questions, like I said, you can use the chat, you can use the Q&A button there, and we'll reply to any thoughts and comments, questions. So Milica, I guess you're going to take over now.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I just want to mention, if you haven't registered as participant, please do. There is a link in the chat, so please just register that you're here. In one moment, my audio was really bad, so I will just repeat about that house party app that we used. It's a mobile application. It's available. Okay, it's available for iOS or Android devices. And you can install it, and we every day have a midday break, so we can gather around online, and we play some online games to have more togetherness moments within team. And this is the part when I will talk about online tools that we are using. So I was really cheering for Trello. I was really into it, and I was really pushing it within organization. But in the end, it didn't happen. I install it, and I ask colleagues to join in. I create to-do lists and everything, but it's never happened. On the other hand, I use it privately. I make my to-do list. I create my errands online. That way, I have my shopping list, my recipes, everything I do. I create it through Trello. So that's a pretty much useful tool that you can use. You have those boards, and you create tasks, and you can have a checkpoint. And in the end, we ended up using the Microsoft Planner for a similar thing, and it looks similar, but Trello is a little bit more creative or more in colors, so I prefer it. But that's what I use privately. And here in Catalyst, we use Jira because it's a more IT tool, and we are using it for IT demands and some processes that we have to do software-wise. So if we having some changes at NetProfit, for example, we create the path and process here, and we have the whole project management process, how it's developed here. So that is how we are using Jira. And it's really useful because you can see what is in progress, what is in the way, and what you can predict in the next period of time can be done. We do not, it's just for this IT part of the Catalyst. We do not use it for the whole staff. For the other part of the staff, we use Microsoft Teams for reporting problems and bugs within our products. So, for example, if someone from the other team, from Giving Balkans part of the team, for example, has some problems, they report it within Teams. And when we find bug, we create process of solution to Jira. And now I will show you how we use the planner, and I will show the whole process of creating tasks, creating planner, creating all stats, and then we can just see what are the benefits of it. And I can see one chat. Okay, thank you, Luca. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about next next workshops that will going to happen. So you can check our website and see if you're interested for another one. I already mentioned this one, and I highly recommend this one also about digital security. And there is a lot other that you can benefit from. Okay, I will just go to the planner. This is a Microsoft app within Microsoft bundle. So you can decide to create a new plan, and you can call it for example, this. And you can choose, do you want it to be public or private? So if you want it to be public, it's not going to be openly public for everyone, just for everyone in your organization, so everyone can see. If you only want to make it for some of the members, you can choose private. Also, if you click options, you can create a description of this group that can be really useful if you have a lot of plans or these boards. You can just create a description, and you can always know what is this plan about. You can see that I have already few of them, and I'm really concentrating to have only one, but with really strong structure. So I don't use a lot of them. I'll use just Civic Catalyst and NetProfitNet ones, so I can track my daily tasks. And I use this BTD, you can see here in the left angle, because it's an organizational decision to have this project organized in planner, so we can all measure what we are doing, when we have milestones, do we have them, do we have all informations about the project or activities within project we have done. So that's the part that we are all following. So here we can have one first, which is always to do. We can rename it to like this one, and we have now the headline, and we can make a little of tasks. So first can be field visit, and then you can set a date like for next week, and you can assign it to someone. For now on, I am just only member of this board, and if I want to invite someone, I can do that like Martina. And the system will ask me if I'm sure that if I want to add her in, because she in that moment she will have access to this board, and I want to do that. And also you can see here members, or add them in this part here. The system will notify Martina that she has some obligations here, and she should check her tasks. So if I go to field visit, I have more options which I can add. I can set start date, and I can show Martina that she can go to field visit within this and next week. And I can say that it's really important, and I know that's not in progress, so I will click not started. And here I can elaborate why it's important for her to go to field visit, and that's happening that time. Also, I can create here a checklist with the items she should bring with her, projector or what other, but so those kind of things. Also, I can add attachment, so which is really important thing, because if you have everything on OneDrive, you can just integrate those documents at OneDrive and not have it like hundreds of copies, and when you don't know which is the right. So you can use the right one and always the same one copy of attachment, which is all kept in OneDrive. Drive. Also, you can add some comments and everything. So if Martina has something to say to me, she can answer in comment and I will know that something is happening with this project. Or maybe she can inform me that she started this field visit and I'm not aware of it. Also, I can add a label on this and I can, for example, label it by a donor. So I can say here, USAID or someone else, or USAID to someone else. So like having those kind of structures in that way. The hardest part of creating this planner, it's not about creating the task daily, it's about creating structure. Once when you think about structure and create what it's going to look like and by what is going to be your criteria of creating buckets, those lists, then you can create a good system of planning, and you can have it all sorted out within your organization. I already said I use it for my team, for Civic Catalyst, and we are creating a structure for every client. So I have a bucket for every client, and I know what I'm supposed to do, what I'm behind with, and I can create and I can know how staff members are burdened with those kind of tasks. So I have a clear picture of what dates are free, and I can create a clear structure and have a clear picture of what we're supposed to do in the next period. Okay, the next one should be our other project. It's going to be we are really part of resource center in Serbia, so I will use this kind of example, and I will add some other colleagues. Okay, I will add Miloš, and he will create a workshop. So Miloš is already behind on this, and I will just add, and he will be getting this red mark, which says that we are already behind with that. And I really want to open up this and add new label, which is going to be blue because it's EU founded. So I will just add this, and here I will click urgent because it is urgent to start, and I can share some attachments from computer, from a Teams file, or link to URL. And it's really important to have it all like that because there is no few versions of the same documents. I already mentioned that. Okay, I will just add some more random tasks so we can create some analytics later. And I can say this is completed, and I can assign this to Milan. And they all will be informed by email that something's happening. And you can see that completed assignments are hidden, so you can open it to see what it's done. This is not something that I just made up, but we don't have a donor. This is a bucket for something that Catalyst does. So here I will just assign it to me. And now when we have like those three assignments, I just want to put it as a low priority, and I will start using it, doing that next week. So I just filled in some information, and you don't have to save it or anything. It's automatically saved whenever you add. So if something happened, your computer turned off, it's all going to be saved here. So here I can see my colleagues that are involved with this remote work, and I can see here charts, and I can see how the difference and how our status of our work is going on. I can see that there is 3 tasks left, 1 not started, 1 in progress, 1 late, and 1 completed. And I can see the projects that are working with. We can see that how are they late or completed. We can see what's urgent and what's low priority. And we can see how many assignments does every member of our team has. So you can really know on who you can rely on what period of time, and don't have people who are burnt out because they have a lot of assignments in one period of time. And if you click schedule next to charts, you can see in what period of the month are you free or you have some obligations, so you can plan your time wisely. And that's the good thing, because you can see all in one place. And when your colleagues just finish the task, they just check this, and you know that their tasks are done. Okay, I want click this because I want to show you how the Planner Hub looks like. When you go to Planner Hub, you can see all projects and how they are advancing. So you can see this with this BTD project that we're currently working on. We have 9 assignments that are not started yet, 7 in progress, 4 late, and 0 completed. On the other hand, with Civil Catalyst, we have 91 completed tasks and 21 not started and 4 in progress. On the Net Profit Net, we have 7 completed and 7 not started. And if you click this, if you give this star to any you just give that favorite star to your board, your plan, it's going to be shown here, and you can see how your progress is going on, like with this. And you can see that there is 3 tasks left, and this is the status. And if you change it, it's changed immediately, and you can have it right away. You can see how it works. So that's a really useful thing. There is a lot of other solutions, but this is really simple plan. And I'm saying again, it's the hardest work is just to think what your structure going to be. If you want to have it all sorted out by projects, then you will have a huge, long list with all activity, all assignments, with all people in just one basket. Or you want to have a different setup, but it's all that part takes the most of your time. But when you create the structure, then everything is going to be easy. So that's the part with. I wonder if there are any questions.
Sorry, there was a question related to what you were talking about previously, your choice of Trello, which we ended up not using in the end. So I guess you can.
I must say that Trello was not an organizational thing. It was my idea and my only idea because I really like it. But on organizational level, we decided to use Jira. And why we use it just for IT? It's a little bit complicated process. It has much more functionalities. It's a really great tool, but I already said we just use it for IT part because it's much easier for our other employees just to report it in Microsoft Teams, and then we can handle it further to Jira. Yeah, I mean, I really personally prefer Trello, but it wasn't the option when, we decided to stick with Planner, so I do. And I mean, it really gave us some results. And in the end, I really can say what we done for every client, because Civil Catalyst, it's a CRM tool. And I can really say that gave us a result, and I can report to every client what task we did, in what period, what it's done, how much time we needed. So that's kind of things that Planner is doing work for us.
And also the thing about Microsoft Planner, using it in combination with Jira, as opposed to just Jira, is that, like we mentioned, we use all the other Microsoft tools. So it's really easy to integrate both with Teams and with Outlook and with other Office related software. So that's one of the advantages as well.
Okay.
Yes, Miloš also.
Miloš, yeah.
Also smart to the Planner. Exactly.
Okay. I think that now Martina would like to show you something. I just want to check if. Yeah, it's Martina's time. Oops.
You read my mind, Milit. It's not like we prepared this. Okay.
Okay, I'll stop share.
Okay, so I will now share my screen. Share screen. Okay. Teams. Okay, so now we are going to continue with talking about Teams and how we use it internally inside of Catalyst. I will just now maximize the screen because it would be easier for you to see what I'm doing. Okay, so Teams is our internal chat or messenger that we use to share information and to quick exchange information inside of a team, both in individual messages, one-on-one, and also team. You can create groups and choose whatever person from the organization you would like to put into the group and to exchange information. So if you see this banner here on the left side, it shows the main features. The activity button where you can see information and latest if you have missed call or anybody mentioned you on any chat, or you have missed message that you should read, you can go to activity, and based on that you will see where should you go and what should you read. You have individual chats in this space here, where you can both communicate with colleagues and create group, as I mentioned. And the important part of Teams features is this feature here, because it allows us, as I mentioned during my speech at the beginning of this course, to be integrated with the SharePoint, and we can easily exchange information, both information and documents, using these groups. So we created, we have the initial one which is general and which is related to all members of our team, but we can also create additional ones and choose team members that we would like to add. For example, besides of this general part where everybody is, we created inside of this general ones. We created some chats that are not generic. For example, the general one is generic, and then here we exchange everyday information, say happy birthday and wish happy beginning of the school year or something like that. So you see Lucky, you know him. So these information are shared through this chat. It's also even more important now where we are working from homes, because during the year when we didn't work from homes, we didn't need to use the chat to say happy birthday. But unfortunately, we switched on this way, but it's okay for now. We then created specific dedicated chats where we exchange information. For example, Corona chat, CVCRM support, help desk if anybody has any issue with the laptop, hardware or software or connection, they can write here, and our dear colleague Nicola as a sysadmin can assist and resolve the issue. Kudos, we share the kudos if somebody does the exceptional job, we share it here, and we exchange this information publicly. So somebody enters kudos, and then we all comment or like or something like that. And yeah, life at Catalyst, I've already mentioned this one. We exchange information related to current events or happenings, and then we, for example, colleagues, our director Nathan, he exchanged for today information that we have this training, so we share the link, and yeah, we will probably afterwards get compliments or something like that. I'm not just affecting anybody's thoughts, but yeah. Office needs, we exchange information if we need anything to be purchased and ordered. So our colleague who is dealing with the purchase and office management is answering and resolving usually these kind of things. And in presence in the home office, this group is especially important during the COVID. We share information if we, if for some reason we cannot work any day when we do not feel well, or we go to we will take a break during the day, or working some hours that is not regular hours from 9 to 5. So we exchange all the important information here. If we go to vacation, we additionally send this information through this chat so that we are sure everybody is informed. This chat is most often used. For example, besides the general chat, each team has its own group, which is created on Teams, and it's connected to the SharePoint place where all the documents and important conversation that took place through Teams are stored. And we created additional additional chats inside of this group, which are dedicated to specific projects or ideas, or where we brainstorm about that and exchange information. So this is then related to the SharePoint place where we have all these folders. This is how it looks like. It's a place where we have documents, and we have all other things related to this group. It can also be related to specific projects, as Milica mentioned, when she explained how we organize projects on Planner. We create these kind of groups, and then we add specific titles where we exchange fast information or store documents. For example, the BDD planner that also Milica mentioned, it's connected to the SharePoint and to Teams, so it's all integrated, and that is also the benefit of using Planner instead of Trello, because it's integrated in our Microsoft package, which is inside of the package that we have. If I would like to add any other new chat, it can be easily done with creating new channel, and I just pick the name of the channel, add the description if I would like to. It's not obligatory, and then I set the privacy if I would like to be it to be accessible to everyone on the team, or private, and then in that case I use the people that I would like to put into that channel. So it's not complex at all. The team's calendar is also connected with the Outlook calendar. So all meetings happenings that we scheduled schedule can be done either by Outlook calendar or directly from Teams, and it's like copied, duplicated, and it's all connected. Also calls, we can see here the missed calls and files that is exchanged through this app. So in order to conclude this kind of an intro, of course, if you have any additional questions, you can ask in chat or as you would like to. But to conclude this story, the important thing is to have Messenger, either you're working in the office or remote. But it especially helped during this time where we worked from home, and it made our lives and it makes our lives much easier. So it helps us being informed and organized, and in cases if we are focused on something, because as a bigger organization is, as more information and messages will pop up on on the screen. So you can, as you can see now, I set my status to do not disturb. It means, and that it gives information to other teammates that I'm doing something especially important at the moment. It's not often used during the usual work week, but in these cases, this is the sign that I'm doing something very important and that I cannot communicate and answer their messages. In most regular cases, we have the sign available. That means that we are available for chat as soon as we get the message, of course. Busy, either if we set it as busy or during the meetings that we have. If, for example, Milica and I have a call, then the automatic thing from the Teams would be to set the status as busy and to pop up the message in a call, something like that. I mentioned already do not disturb, and these are other be right back is if you're idle for some time, if you do not use the Teams, that would be automatically set. And appear offline if you would like to be incognito, or you're not working, or you would like to be incognito. You can also set the status message. You can point if you are going to inform people that you're taking a lunch break or something, because especially now where we're working from home, or any other message, you can put it there. So that would be everything related to Teams demo. And I will now give the mic to Milica to continue with the rest of presentation, if I'm right. Milica.
Well, we came to conclusions.
Okay, sorry, I was in my sorry. I will then stop sharing, and then we will okay. Just a second. Okay, so I will now share the, sorry for the misunderstanding. conclusions and future trends. Okay, so to wrap up this this today's course, and what we talk about, the remote work has its benefits and challenges, and they appear to be very individual. So what we spoke at the beginning of the course, I mentioned that employees had the remote work as the rare perk and opportunity, and that employers were skeptical about what would be effect of this kind of a work. But during the time, results and impressions were not that were not remain the same. And as much people dreamed about working in pajamas and staying at home and couch all day, it appeared not to be that ideal trade-off when it comes to sometimes staying more at work, or not being able to differentiate work from home. So it all has both sides of a story, but it's pretty individual, as I already mentioned. So because it depends on preferences. Also, when it comes to employers, that kind of prejudice that were existing in the beginning changed during the time. So there were a lot of benefits that were encountered along the road, not just the financial side, because of the office space and all other things that are saved as the effect of the corona, but other things when it comes to productivity and satisfaction of the employees that were the result of remote work. Also, we realized that that is not just our decision. It's like a necessity to adapt to new normal. In cases when some organizations were not prepared, the quick adapt were a must. So, and now it's something that is already accepted. Because besides of organization of processes and projects, we realize that the crucial thing is care about people. When I say we realized that this is crucial, is not that we didn't know it before, but I think that in many places that was realized, unfortunately, along the way, but for those who already cared about people, this is something that was encountered as the priority, and it is getting more and more focused on people and their needs. And what can we predict about the future? I must say, when we for starters talk about the catalyst and plans, we are pretty much in that sense, as always, feeling the pulse of our employees. But for now, we got the impression that it's individual, but everybody could sense some kind of a benefit of working from home. So it would be, we think that it would be some kind of hybrid model, combining both working from home and from the office. From home, of course, when we feel it as a benefit, and from office, of course, to gain the team, to remain and retain the team spirit and bring people together. So in our case, we are going to focus on that. And as the current standard and trends say both from our region and from the world, is that remote work became some kind of a deal breaker, and that a lot of people will choose their future employer based on that benefit, and whether it would be optional or not. So we can end today's story with these trends. For the end, we would like to ask you what are your impressions based on your expectations, and if we met your expectations during this course.
Okay, I would kindly ask you to again log into AHA Slides and then just put your answers. We are really interested to see if you get what you expected to get. So feel free to put everything you want. And also Luca will share evaluations. So if you liked it, please, you can recommend this to your colleagues because we will have the next one. But also if you didn't like, we would really cherish that kind of comment and everything. So please share, we want to be better. So if you want to say something, we will have opportunity. And also while you not answering to this question, I would I would kindly ask you to, if someone want to say something, to share. I saw that the Tina girl left, so we cannot hear about her product she wanted to present. But I mean, I will definitely Google it. I am the person who like to try everything, so I will try, and if it's good, we will probably having this next year, this kind of workshop. So if someone wants to say something, to share some information, to say what they are using in their organization, now is the moment.
Yes, I'm also very interested, what do the other organizations here in the workshop use? Because like I know there's all of the things that were mentioned, Jira, Asana for more tech-oriented people, and both Microsoft Planner and what did we mention? Trello for sort of more generalist usage. But I know people get along with all kinds of crazy combinations, including WhatsApp and just, Excel tables. So I'd like to know like what it is. You can write in chat, like what it is that your organization uses. Do you even have any kind of dedicated system for either project management or in-team communication? So that would be great to know. Also, please left the link in the chat where you can fill out, like Milica said, the evaluation form. It would be great if you did that. It's very brief, and it will really help us really perfect these workshops in the future. So we'd like to know what our attendees think. Has this been useful to you? So yeah, I can wait for a few more answers, or if anybody's got any kind of comment or question.
This part of workshops are always the saddest, like no one is ever saying anything.
Yeah, I see that somebody answered, didn't learn anything new. I'm glad to hear that and that other organizations are involved in this process and that are used to processes that we're implementing as well.
Yes, I assume we had some more sort of higher end sort of people who are already familiar with this. So
definitely,
hopefully for the next workshop, we'll work on maybe getting into some more specific tips. So that could potentially be useful to those who are already familiar with the basics that we've been mostly covering.
Yeah, I mean, Martina and I just commented a few days ago, we saw some research from AFA Network, and they show that millennials and Generation Z are most likely to want inclusive leaders. So they will look for those kind of workplaces, or transparent leaders, who organizations who are doing ethical work, and they are pretty much transparent about that. So these new trends in hiring, and with the new generation set coming into the labor market, is going to be pretty much interesting to see in the next period of time.
I totally agree.
Okay.
That's enough
Okay.
words here. You can feel free to comment in the chat as well, although it's not anonymous. I
But
think
you can do it in evaluation. There is.
Yes,
so.
yes. The evaluations are anonymous. So if you want to leave a more detailed comment, you have the link in the comments. So you will definitely have enough room.
Yeah, and we would like to encourage you to include your expectations and maybe suggestions for the future, as we consider it very valuable. So for the end, we would like to encourage you to ask if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to try to get you an answer.
Okay, feel free to contact us privately via our emails. So Luca will share it probably with email, follow-up email. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your feedback, and see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Milica and Martina. Yes, like Milica said, I will send a follow-up email tomorrow with all the materials, including this video and the presentations, as well as any links that Milica and Martina may want to share, and also our contact information, of course, so you can get in touch with us if you need any further explanations on this or any questions you may have. Also, I'd encourage you to look at more of our workshops. Milica mentioned particularly digital security. So if remote working systems are of interest to you, you may definitely want to look into ways of securing your communications. So I will also share the link to our events homepage with you, so you can browse that and sign up if that is something that you're interested. Okay, we're finishing a little bit earlier today than planned, but I think we covered all of the basics that Milica and Martina intended. So I hope it was useful to you, and I hope we will see you in future workshops. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.